Hey everyone, this is Matt with the Northern Angler here in Traverse City, Michigan. Today we're out on our local river, the Boardman, where we're doing some streamer fishing. It's one of our favorite ways to fish. It's super visual, it's active, it's constant work, which is a lot of fun. You know, we love catching fish on dry flies, just doing the set it and forget it thing, but if you really like to tinker, streamer fishing might be for you. So today we got 3 quick tips. Well, maybe not so quick, but 3 tips on how to improve your streamer fishing. You're not just going to be able to get out there and be great at it. It takes work, like most things in fly fishing. So there's going to be some homework. So tip number 1 is practice your casting and practice shooting line and managing your line. Just spend some time. You know, so many people come in and they're frustrated, they're hooking trees, they're not getting the accuracy that they want, they're not getting the distance that they want, and that comes from not being on the water. It comes from spending time in your backyard with a hula hoop. That's what I do. You know, you can over the years get better just being on the water, but it's going to be frustrating. You're going to have a lot of time on the water where you can't put the fly where you want it. And in Michigan, especially in northern Michigan, we have these smaller rivers that have tiny pockets where you need to be accurate and get your fly, because if you can't get it there in front of a fish, what are the chances they're going to eat it? Okay, they're not going to go out of their way all the time to eat your fly. So first thing with practicing your casting is being able to shoot line. And shooting line is really simple. You're just letting it go once you've reached your final stop, okay? If you try and carry all the line you want to cast over to that bank, what's going to happen? Look around. We got trees everywhere. You're just going to end up hooking all these trees. So you need to be able to flex the rod, store power, and be able to shoot extra line. And that comes from time in the yard, again with a hula hoop. Because if you practice out here, you're going to hook a lot of stuff. Now to get set up to strip, I need to have control of this line in my left hand. So when I'm shooting, I let it shoot through an OK sign. That way I can just hook it under my index finger and get stripping right away. If you let go sometimes when you're shooting line, sure, you can get more distance, but it's gonna wrap around the butt of your rod. You're gonna be tangling, untangling like a maniac, and you're gonna miss fish and you're gonna get frustrated. So work on controlling the line and being ready to strip as soon as that fly hits, okay? Okay, tip number 2 is going to be switch up your presentation. A lot of people we see will go streamer fishing, they'll cast it, and then they're just gonna start stripping. That's all they do. They got one move. It's like the guy on the dance floor that just does the sprinkler, okay? That's all he does. You need to have more tools in your toolbox as a streamer fisher. So, first of all, learn to animate a fly using the rod tip. There's a lot of great videos out there on doing the jerk strip, you know, which was really developed in northern Michigan, and that's animating your fly with the rod tip. You can do just the plain strip. That works great, but be willing to change your retrieve speeds. Let the fly pause. A lot of times a dying minnow isn't going to be swimming at full speed away from the predator, okay? It's going to be kind of stalling out and not knowing where it's going, and that can be deadly, but you can't have too much slack when you're doing it. There's also, you know, jigging your fly, bringing the rod tip up as you're retrieving the fly, okay? So be willing to switch it up, experiment. It's all a guess and check with streamer fishing, because any given day those fish might want something different. Okay, that brings us to tip number 3. Number 3, learn to strip set. Okay, strip set is the way we set the hook into a fish that's eating a streamer. Usually, you know, we call trout set, that's just lifting the rod when you're dry fly fishing. Doesn't always work when you're streamer fishing. You need to set that hook with your left hand, and it's a strip back hard, and as you're lifting the rod, okay? That tends to pull the hook straight into a fish's mouth instead of lifting it out. A lot of times fish will come up from underneath, and if you lift that fly, say goodbye. Simple as that. So 3 tips again for streamer fishing, you know, that can really up your game. Number 1, Again, remember, practice, practice, practice. That is casting, that's shooting line, that's maybe learning a double haul and managing your line. Number 2 is change it up. Change your retrieves. If real fast retrieve isn't working, add pauses. Let that fly flutter and sink. Maybe even change to a fly that has heavier lead eyes or something like that. Number 3 is master the strip set. And along with that strip set, don't ever stop that fly from moving if you're trout fishing. Keep it moving, okay? It stops moving when the fish is following it, might not eat it, okay? So keep it moving. All right, hope to see everyone in the shop or out on the water soon. If you got more questions about streamer fishing, let us know in the comments. Maybe think about subscribing.